Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a collective reading and energy update. So I'm going to start by shuffling the traditional tarot cards. While I'm shuffling, if you would like me to channel a specific message for you or your current situation, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as this does allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you. Also, feel free to let me know in the comments how you've been doing so far at the beginning of this week. I do channel these collective readings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, by the way, to all of you who are in the live chat during the premiere of the reading. The live chat and those live premiere sessions are really powerful co-creative spaces. So I do invite you to tune in on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the channel if you feel guided to do so. So let's go ahead and get a card representing the energy of today for the collective. So we have the Chariot card. I'm hearing refocusing. So someone might be finding themselves desiring to refocus either in some kind of new direction in their life, or if it's not a new direction, this may be a desire to hone in on something and focus in more strongly in a particular direction. For some of you, I'm really picking up this may be relevant when it comes to life purpose, career, something that you do in the world. So you might be desiring to move in some kind of a new creative direction or a new career direction, or you might just be really desiring to hone in your focus where you are on something that feels really aligned for you. I'm hearing something that's pulling you. Like for many of you listening, there could be some kind of specific goal, dream, desire, relationship that really seems to be pulling on your spirit, pulling on your psyche at this time. I'm hearing focusing on what your soul really desires. For some reason, I'm also hearing cutting out the distractions. So for some of you, particularly with this new moon in Gemini that we've just come through, you may be feeling the desire to really shift your focus away from certain things in your life that may have either felt literally distracting to you in the physical 3D world, or energetically distracting, meaning that these things may have felt as though they were pulling on or draining your energy without giving back to you equally in return. This could be socially, friendships, connections in your life. This could be describing a relationship dynamic where you are, I'm hearing, feeling apathetic towards people from your past or people in your life, platonically or romantically, that are pulling on your energy or draining your energy without giving back an equal return. For some reason, I'm hearing tolerance. So you may have tolerated some of these energies that drained you remaining in your life for a period of time. Specifically, when this comes to relationships, I'm hearing that you may have put up with a certain degree of this energy imbalance kind of dynamic with certain others in your life. But now it's almost as though your soul or your guides, whatever spiritual forces you connect with, are telling you in a sense they've had their chance to participate with you in a balanced way. They've had their chance to approach you correctly, energetically speaking. And if they aren't willing to do that and they are continuing to drain your energy, you are really coming into that queen essence, that high priestess embodiment, and choosing to follow your intuition and step away from what isn't aligning with you in these higher vibrational planes of existence that you are aligning with through this powerful shift in your frequency that's taken place. We have the Page of Swords here. So specifically, as we're talking about people that may have been participating with you in an imbalanced way or not fully approaching you correctly, there may be someone in your energy field coming up as this Page of Swords, someone who, it's almost like I'm getting the energy of someone holding their breath or like about to make a move, but not following through on it. And energetically, this might be a really frustrating dynamic for you, whoever I'm speaking to here. By the way, I do always say this, but I do channel many different people, situations, and connections during this reading. So please always only take what feels good and right for you and what connects for you personally, always using your own intuition as your guide. But with this card, I'm really getting someone coming up here as, first of all, being highly intrigued by you, being really curious. I'm hearing curious about your energy, even if they wouldn't describe it in that way. It's as though this person has been hypnotized by your energy. That's really what I'm getting here. They're thinking about you very heavily, and this is happening at a really conscious level. We're not talking about the subconscious here when it comes to this person. They are very consciously, heavily thinking about you actively. And yet, again, there's that energy of someone holding their breath or holding a pose, about to make a move, but there's that holding pattern in place. So you are feeling that there is this energy of being on the brink with this person. When you're around them or when you feel their energy, it might feel like something is just right on the brink of happening or right on the brink of manifesting. And yet, again, there's this holding pattern, almost like it doesn't happen. And that could lead to a lot of frustration for you. This may be one of those people that we referenced earlier that you may have or may be choosing to shift your focus away from at this time because you're feeling this frustration, not wanting to feel as though you are waiting on this person to take some kind of action towards you or to make some kind of move. Yeah, we have King of Pentacles reversed. So it could be a masculine energy coming through here, although, of course, we all do have a balance internally of divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So always only take those messages how they connect with you. But for many of you listening, you may be coming up here as the divine feminine. You may resonate more with that energetic polarity, whereas the person coming up connected to you in this way could be a masculine. However, I feel like they're struggling with something when it comes to work or finances, or there might just be a really strong imbalance there, meaning they might have a poor work-life balance at this time. They may feel like they are burnt out when it comes to finances, work, or career. They could be someone who has mismanaged their finances in some way, leading to some kind of instability or a need to really overly fixate at this time on work, finances, or the material. This almost just feels like a preoccupation for this person. For some of you listening, it could be that because they're aware that currently they're preoccupied with something related to their work, their finances, their career, they may be aware that they can't quite make the offer towards you that they want to make as long as they are trying to sort this out. And it's almost as though they're waiting for things to balance out when it comes to, again, their work-life balance, their career, their finances. That may not connect with everyone, but I'm getting that really strongly, almost like a masculine here is trying to sort out their physical, material world before they come fully towards you with an offer. But that's really causing them to just look to you like an energetic distraction at this time. I hear a divine feminine saying, like, are you coming with me or not? Because I'm aligning with these higher timelines. It's almost as though this is really, really interesting. This is getting pretty quantum, but it feels like for someone listening, you, divine feminine, have been shifting through timelines very fast. And it's almost as though through that timeline traveling, so to speak, you've briefly connected with this masculine on a particular timeline, almost as though you're visiting that timeline, but aware that you're still on the rise, that you can't sit here kind of waiting for this person to be ready on this timeline. You're rising still to a higher vibrational timeline. And there's almost this awareness that you've just been briefly visiting this timeline where the two of you have been more consciously connecting and interacting, but that it's almost like, why am I getting the feeling like you're visiting a different location, except this location is like a different timeline that you're visiting? For some of you, you may have literally met this person while you were physically in a different location or physically traveling. But for others of you, again, I'm getting this in a very quantum sense, like you were traveling through timelines on the rise to this very high vibrational timeline that you're currently aligning with, but you briefly connected with this masculine on some alternate timeline. And now it's as though you've woke him up and he has to make the decision, am I going to rise with divine feminine to an even higher timeline? Or am I going to remain in this lower vibrational state of being? And I'm hearing that for many of these masculines, they've been avoiding making this choice and trying to distract themselves with physical 3D people, things, behaviors. I just keep hearing they've been trying to distract themselves, avoiding making this decision to align with you, even though that's what their soul really wants. It's almost like they've been procrastinating on it. That's really the energy I'm getting from this person, like they've been putting it off. Now with the Hierophant reversed, there's something really non-traditional or unconventional going on here. So this person themselves may live a very unconventional lifestyle. There may be something unusual about them, something that stands out about the way that they live or work. This also could mean that there's something really unconventional about the two of you coming together. So if you were to fully come together, it might break with tradition or convention. This could also speak to, if the two of you came together, there may be someone who has to separate from their own tradition, from their own conformity. This also could even literally be someone having to divorce or separate from a particular long-standing relationship. If the two of you were to come together, again, there's just some kind of break with conformity here. And I see that with the Queen of Cups card coming out here, but in the reverse position, I see that for some divine feminines, this masculine may be kind of triggering some of your dark feminine energy at this time. And that might be why you are feeling the need to separate from them, or feeling a bit frustrated, wanting to possibly refocus your attention away from this person and situation and back on your goals. Because it's almost like this person may have triggered some frustration or some anger or apathy that we tend to associate with dark feminine energy. Now, when I speak to dark feminine energy, I don't mean dark as in bad. I mean dark as in the shadow aspect of the divine feminine, the counterpart energy to those lighter aspects. Dark feminine energy is actually extremely powerful, and it may even be this triggered energy that's pushing you into that chariot, into that self-focus, breaking through barriers, breaking through obstacles, really refocusing yourself in an incredibly powerful way on your dreams and goals at this time. And again, part of that refocus may even be partially triggered or motivated by the way that this masculine has triggered something within you. Again, it might be that dark feminine essence or energy. It could be something else that they've triggered within you, but it's almost like they've given you a newfound sense of refocus or clarity as you desire to refocus back on yourself and away from anyone or anything that is not approaching you correctly from an energetic perspective. There's something here about going back to your roots with the Three of Wands reversed, and this is sitting really, really heavy on the third eye, and I immediately heard dreams. So I actually posted on my Instagram recently about some of the collective, particularly the divine feminine collective, which I tend to channel for more dominantly. Part of the collective recently has been having really profound and highly meaningful, I almost use the word symbolic, but that's not really entirely energetically accurate here, because these dreams, they aren't just symbolic. And I'll get into that in a minute. I wondered if this was going to come up in the reading. I'm feeling us shifting into the meaning of these powerful, meaningful, that's the word that just keeps coming out. Like, these dreams are meaningful experiences. So again, I feel that on the whole, these meaningful dreams will resonate more so with the divine feminine polarity. Although, of course, always take the messages as they resonate. They may connect with you as a divine masculine as well. But I will say, the reason I didn't want to use the word symbolic to describe these recent dream experiences that some of you are having is because they're actually more real than most could wrap their minds around from a conscious, physical human perspective. When I say that they're real, I mean a lot of you are having dream experiences where you are glimpsing into alternate timelines. I also call this sometimes collapsing out old timelines. Others of you are having dream experiences where souls from your past who are still energetically connected and bonded to you, even if you haven't spoken at all or communicated at all recently in the physical 3D world, these souls from your past are, I'm hearing lost souls, are coming back to you in consciousness, potentially through your dream state, essentially connecting with you on the astral plane in order to receive some kind of subconscious download, healing, guidance from you at a spiritual level. You could think of this in a somewhat metaphoric way, almost like you in your dream state being like akin to a spirit guide for these lost souls that come to you. It's like just like with a spirit guide, typically you aren't able to visibly see the guide, but you can sense the guidance, and it almost feels like the guidance is coming from within yourself, from within your own subconscious mind. But from another perspective, it's really you connecting with this external spiritual energy or guidance. Well, these dreams are the same way. It's like you are in spirit realm connecting with the spirit, the soul of these others through their dream state. And again, these feel like people who, and this could just be one person, it could be multiple people. These feel like people who have taken a path. I wanted to call it a very karmic path. So it might be very karmic for some of them who have taken a path that's very out of alignment with their true soul purpose or who they really came here to be. For some of you, these may be people platonically or romantically who at one point were very much aligned with you on the same timeline. The two of you may have been very much in the same world, dimensionally speaking. You may have ran in the same social circles. You may have dated at one point. You may have been connected in some way. But I'm hearing there was a split off where you chose one path and they chose another. You chose to wake up and they chose to distract themselves and remain asleep. You chose a path aligned with your higher soul's calling, and they chose a path that was seemingly secure, that gave them an artificial sense of stability and security. And I'm hearing that if this person was fully honest with themselves, and I'm saying if because it feels almost buried beneath levels and layers of programming to the point where they may not even admit to themselves this truth. But if they were fully admitting this truth, they would say that they are in regret, that they feel like you chose the right path and they chose the wrong path. And that's why their soul is coming to you through dreams. Regardless of the nature of the dreams, it's meant to shift them or to open their mind in some way, to guide them in some way. I'm also picking up that whoever this is that might be coming to you in dreams, that you might be dreaming about, they are very unhappy with their current life circumstances. With the 9 of Cups reversed, they feel like I'm hearing shattered every dream that they had as a child before they were societally programmed, when they were more aligned with their true soul nature. Before that programming, they feel like they've almost deeply betrayed themselves or their childhood self that had these dreams. This may apply differently for different people. For some of you, this could be a dream they had for their career life, for their work life. This could be relationships. For some of you, this really has a highly nostalgic feel. So this could be someone you dated in the past, or someone that you romantically had a bond with. For others of you, I'm getting this may have not even been a defined relationship, but there was a romantic bond here. And this person is in deep regret because I know it sounds cliche to say, but what I'm really hearing, if this is romantic in nature and this is an ex or someone romantic from your past, I'm hearing them literally say, I'm realizing that I've always been in love with you. And I've chosen this really karmic path that has led me so far away from who I really am. And I'm afraid to admit that even to myself. This person themselves is feeling highly nostalgic, wanting to return back to their own roots, wanting to start over in some sense and make different choices. Their life has brought them some kind of tower moment. I'm hearing this is it, like a question. It's almost like this person is looking around at their life, possibly achieving life milestones that look fulfilling to other people, but deep within themselves, they're wondering, is this all there is? And they're experiencing a major tower moment here. And right as I asked what this person's tower moment was, we got the grief card. So they're grieving something. For many of them, I'm feeling that this is a deep kind of soul grief. They're grieving the choices that they made. They're grieving making decisions to align them with this karmic path. And if, again, this is romantic, they may be feeling regret that this path has so disconnected them from you. Regardless of whether or not you knew this person in childhood, they see you as someone who connects with their inner child. So for some of you, this could literally be someone that you knew when you were younger, in childhood, early adulthood. It's like something about you or this connection really takes this person back to their own roots. And it's almost like the idea of you is really intertwined with the idea of their childhood, or the idea of who they were before they allowed society to lead them down, to program them down this really karmic path. I'm hearing they see you shining. That's such a strange way of putting it, but I see you, Divine Feminine, as really having this glow about you. And when I speak of this, this is something that others would be capable of visibly perceiving or picking up on when they see you in person. Not that they would necessarily see a literal light around you unless that person was capable of seeing auras psychically, but that when they're around you, they feel this light about you subconsciously that pulls them towards you. But this isn't just physical. Even those who aren't in your physical presence, they sense a glow about you. They, as this person is saying who's coming through here, they sense that you're shining, that something about you has shifted, that you're coming online spiritually and energetically. For a while, you may have felt, Divine Feminine, as though your frequency was almost invisible, like you, I'm hearing, were a stranger even in your own hometown or where you lived. You may have felt as though you were very socially isolated, almost a nomad, like no one really truly saw you, understood you, or you may have literally felt invisible, like you really didn't know anyone around you in your community, socially. You may have felt very alone. And although some of you might still be feeling this way community-wise and socially, spiritually and energetically, you've come back online. Your frequency is highly visible, highly perceptible, if that's a word, to other people, specifically to these people from your past. And again, I do keep getting one specific masculine energy coming through. This person might be the one coming to you in dreams. If those dreams are romantic in nature, this is one who's seeing you shining, whereas they feel like they're in conflict. They feel like they're fighting something, either internally or externally, with the hostilities card. So I want to know what this person is fighting. What does this masculine feel like they're fighting here? This could be someone metaphorically kicking themselves, because with man holding a heart reversed, they're realizing that they were afraid to open up to you, or afraid to give you their heart, even though this person is very talkative, by the way. They keep almost correcting me in the reading. This may be someone who can be a little bit stubborn-spirited. Whoever is coming through on this masculine energy, they might be someone who is very technical with their language, or who likes to correct other people, or maybe they would correct you, or you would correct each other, or something like that. It's such a weird dynamic, but whenever I say something, it's almost like this person wants to be very direct and very technical about it. by correcting me. So they corrected me by saying, my heart was already yours, or it's already yours. So yes, I was afraid to give it to you, but that was just my blindedness, because really it was already yours all along. I was a fool to believe I even had control over my heart. I also feel this person almost being a bit confused, like, why now? Why is divine feminine coming back around again now in my mind and my consciousness so strongly? And again, the reason for this energetically is because, and I keep saying it, but your frequency has come online, meaning we're all connected in this web of collective consciousness, and you are lighting up energetically in a way that anyone who's ever been connected to you in a past life, spiritually, in this life, in some sense, anyone who's ever connected with you is sensing a shift that's happened within you subconsciously, even if the two of you haven't communicated in decades or even in this life. This could be people that you have a soul connection with, who you've connected with in past lives, who are also realizing or sensing your frequency and moving towards you at this time in a kind of unconsciously magnetic way. Whoever this is coming through here so strongly, this masculine, they're feeling unsupported or misunderstood, unseen in their daily life. And the reason that this is affecting them so much, particularly at this time, is because not only are they sensing the shift in you, divine feminine, but they themselves are going through a heart-centered awakening. Their heart is really opening, and as their heart opens, their eyes spiritually are opening, and they're realizing how I'm hearing, backed themselves into a corner or trapped themselves in some kind of a karmic timeline or pattern in some way, coming up here with the Eight of Swords upright. So, wow, this has been a very fascinating reading, very unique energy coming through here. So, as I always say, only take it if it connects with you. But if this is connecting, we'll be diving a lot deeper into this in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So, I will be channeling more into the masculine coming through here. Again, this person may have come to you in a dream or just might be connecting with you subconsciously, sending you energy at this time. We'll be channeling into how the situation potentially could move forward, as well as what is on their heart in the deepest places, because I feel a lot of shrouded energy, almost like this person has buried something so deep that they might not even be fully ready to consciously admit it to themselves, but we will be diving into that in the extended reading. I will also be channeling any further spirit guide or higher self messages for the divine feminines at this time, and any other details or pieces of information that want to come through that reading. So again, if you do feel guided to join me in the extended Patreon reading, you can do so by joining our soul tribe on Patreon. And the link to more information about all of that is in the pinned comment and description box. Okay, so for now, I have one final Rumi Oracle card to close this reading. And this card is, I surge on the uprising wave of love. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. I surge on the uprising wave of love. No gravity can stop me from rising. The moon pulls the tide of life towards her, and my soul in oneness with all of life answers her call. A wave of love consumes me, and upwards I fly, flying through water to greet her shining body. Led by my heart, my wits are addled, and my mind becomes a blurry mess, and so I feel instead. Feel the truth of her love and the divine reflection she shines back at me from her radiant heart. And the guidebook also says, The movements of the cosmos affect us deeply, body and soul. Some movements are perhaps less obvious in form, but are just as great, if not more so, in effect upon our spiritual growth and life experiences. You are going through a cycle, or very soon will be, by which you will be moved by forces greater than your own personal will. This is the way of things, greater cycles affecting smaller ones. The smaller ones are not less important, but they do have to bow to the power of the great, in oneness with the magnificent unfolding divinity that is life itself. So that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. If anything from the reading connected with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are feeling a resonance here. Join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Spelled exactly that way. I do have the spelling in the description box under the video. Please keep in mind that this is my only Instagram account and I never DM or message privately on any platform for personal readings. So anyone who does message for a personal reading is a scammer and impersonator. I just want you to be aware of that. Also, for those of you who are new to the channel, I do have a brand new subliminals meditation app. The app is called Sound and Soulful, and it's currently available for download in both the App Store and Google Play Store. I personally have been using subliminals for years, and I've seen powerful results in all areas of my life through utilizing subliminals to access and reprogram my own subconscious mind on a daily basis. This is a really powerful tool for manifesting your desires through unlocking the subconscious mind. So if you would like to try out my library of subliminals free for 7 days, you can do so by downloading and signing up for the app. And again, you can search for it by searching Sound and Soulful in the app stores. You can also download it directly by following the link in the description box. Thank you so much to all of you who have tuned in to the reading today. I am sending you all so much love, wishing you a beautiful start to your week. Take care, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's collective reading.